The generational divide. It's Ed Miliband standing in for Jeremy Vine. So before the record, we heard Pauline's letter to you, Andy. I think we're going to hear your reply.
Yeah. My amazing mum. You never smacked me as a child, but this letter feels like a punch to the stomach. Reading it has left me feeling so sad. Do you remember when I was 4 and I got myself stuck behind that railing and the fire brigade had to come and squeeze me out? I felt so ashamed because I could see you were exasperated, worried and embarrassed. I cried then because I loved you and looked up to you, and I was sorry. It turns out nothing changes. Have I really made you feel so awful? The thought I might have caused you so much pain kills me, as I know how much you love me. But at the same time, I feel like I'm being told off for doing what you brought me up to do. To speak out, be brave, stand up for my beliefs. I've watched you fight for what you believe in. When you were a teacher, it was you who stood up to the school and carried on caring about the children rather than their obsession with paperwork. I was so proud when you fought the council over the bullying of other teachers and won. You've never hidden your views from me. When I describe you to my friends, I tell them with real pride that my mum is a fighter who doesn't care, doesn't take any nonsense. You've also brought up a wimp, Mum, sorry.
Not at all, not at all.
Don't you see, the man you brought into the world is following your lead. When I speak my mind on Facebook and Twitter, I do it knowing that unlike most people, you and I are strong enough to fight for what we know is right. It has been a depressing and unnerving thing to discover that what I know to be right means that you must surely be wrong. I'm so sorry, but when we talk about Brexit, your beliefs seem to me ill-informed and blinkered, and even, I don't want to write this and I really don't want to say it, racist. And I hate that word because I know it's clumsy and unfair, and Mum, it's not true. I need to hold your hand. You're not a racist person, and you've never been prejudiced. You had your friends and colleagues from around the world, and as a teacher, you did your very best for the children who were struggling to learn English. You are kind, and you're generous, and you're caring. And when I came out as gay, you showed me complete unquestioning love. The truth is, I do find it tough when I hear you talking about foreign people as if they are ruining Britain. As a Londoner, I live with immigrants and I work with immigrants and I drink and eat with immigrants, and they are kind, hard-working, brilliant people. You've told me you sometimes feel like this isn't your country anymore, but it is. Just because people speak in different languages, that hasn't changed. They are just people looking for a better life. Those foreign people that you want kicked out looked after you in hospital after your operation. They installed your new kitchen and painted the bathroom. To me, your generation has had it very good indeed, and it's made you all, as a whole, arrogant and selfish. Jeez, I hear cars crashing around the country. You want me to respect your point of view, but can't you listen to ours? Mum, you are everything to me, and no matter how vehemently we disagree about things, I will always know that when you have something to say to me or anyone else, you'll say it, just as you have in this letter. The problem is when I write things you find confrontational, I emulate you. So when you think about it, it's kind of your fault. With deepest love. With deepest love, and actually reading that back for the first time, actually, since I wrote it, I think with some regret and apology, because I think there are things that I've said in there that are confrontational and are argumentative and make you sound as though you believe things you don't. And I have to make it, because this is so important, Ed, really, really clear that my mum is not a prejudiced person, and that's why I find Brexit and talking to my mum about Brexit so difficult.
Of course. And look, Andy, we are incredibly grateful to you both for sharing your story and your emotion with us. Pauline, I mean, what did it make you feel hearing that? Andy, obviously struggling with his emotions, understandably, as he read that letter.
Well, I don't like seeing Andrew upset at all. As his mum, obviously, I don't like seeing him upset. When I first heard his response, I was glad that he'd taken on board what I'd said. I felt that he had digested it. I did feel possibly that there were a few points that still we needed to talk about. But I feel now that we do have reached an understanding, and that we can move on from this. I've learnt some things too.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're calling time on Britain's membership of the European Union.